Ms. Rossi, the casting assistant handed her a script, uncertainty in her voice. Your audition was actually scheduled for next week. I sent you an email, I know, Isabella said, unbuttoning her dress to reveal the fake bruise on her collarbone. Lucas had insisted on making it look realistic that morning, saying it will be more convincing. But domestic violence victims don't get appointment times for their suffering. Their pain never waits for a convenient moment. When director Jacques looked up from behind the monitor, Isabella was already standing in the audition area. She didn't use the prepared lines. Instead, she pulled out her phone and played the recording of Chloe's interview from that morning. The shrill female voice echoing through the quiet studio. Abandoned elite, wives always love playing the victim. Is it because they're used to relying on men, or because they think tears can buy sympathy? The recording cut off abruptly. Isabella suddenly threw her phone against the wall. The case cracked, the screen spiderwebbing. Amid the flying shards, she slowly looked up, offering the broken smile the script demanded. Her lips curved upward, but her eyes were filled with tears. Now I'm a real victim, Jacques. Do you want more authenticity? I can show you Alex's forged documents, Chloe's smears, photos of my sealed apartment. These are more brutal lines than any script. The entire studio fell silent, so quiet you could hear every breath. Jacques slowly took off his glasses, rubbing his eyes. We put them back on. His eyes held shock and admiration. My God, Isabella, where did you learn to act like this? I've never seen a performance so powerful. Since they turned my life into a bad script, Isabella said, bending to pick up a shard of phone screen. Its sharp edge cut her fingertip. A drop of blood fell onto the audition script, just blurring the line. The scars you bear are actually your crown. She didn't feel pain. Instead, she felt clarity. These scars would become her strongest armor. On the way back, Madeline received a text from Jacques. She read it aloud, excitement in her voice. Tell Isabella to come sign the contract after the trial tomorrow. She's the only one who can play the lead in Broken Mask. We won. Isabella, you got the role. Lucas, however, stared at a newly received email, his brows furrowed. Strange. Alex just applied to the court for a continuance, citing need to present new evidence. He must have realized we have the meeting minutes and want to buy time. Isabella stared at the darkening sky outside the window. The setting sun dyed the clouds red, just like the lipstick she'd worn that morning. Chloe's interview car was still tailing them, but now she noticed a fresh scratch on its side, shaped like a peacock's tail, exactly like the brooch Marie had described Chloe wearing. The peacock-shaped scratch glinted eerily in the sunset, as if bragging about its trophy. Chloe and Alex have been working together longer and more closely than we thought, Isabella said, her voice hoarse. She pressed her fingertip gently against her injured finger. She didn't just trick me out of money. She's been keeping tabs on me for Alex, ready to smear me at any moment. She's more invested in this role than I am. Lucas was scanning photos of the documents Jean Dupont had provided when he pointed to one. Look at this, Chloe's business card from 3 years ago. In the photo, a peacock brooch was pinned next to her title, her ERA project coordinator. The contact information below matched her current work email at Le Parisien. Madeline suddenly slammed her fist on the steering wheel. The horn blared, scaring away pigeons on the sidewalk. So this bitch was part of the trap from the start. She pretended to interview me, pumped me for information, even followed us secretly. I knew there was something off about her. Every time we met, she'd ask a million questions about Isabella's schedule. There's more, Isabella said, her eyes sharp as she stared at the interview car in the rearview mirror. Remember how Chloe found Madeline's apartment so easily this morning? Alex must have told her. They've been in cahoots all along, waiting for her to catch me fleeing. Unfortunately for them, they didn't count on us using their cameras against them. She pulled out her phone and sent an encrypted message to Sophia. Could you help me look into Chloe Duran's work history from 3 years ago, especially anything related to her era? Thank you. The moment it sent, she knew she was no longer fighting alone. The heavy oak doors of the courtroom closed behind her with a dull thud. As Isabella walked in, she smelled a familiar cologne, Alex's favorite. She'd once thought it pleasant. Now it made her nose sting. Alex's legal team sat like a flock of crows in the defendant's area, suited, serious-faced. On her side, there was only Lucas and his crumpled briefcase, filled with all their evidence. Nervous? Lucas handed her a mint, cheap, wrapped in green paper. Suck on this. It'll calm you down. I have one before every trial. Isabella took the mint, popping it into her mouth. The cool taste spread across her tongue. She shook her head, but her hand unconsciously touched the pocket of her dress. Inside was the Lucky Charm Sophia had slipped her that morning, a small star sewn from the shelter's curtain fabric. Its stitches were uneven, but it felt warm. The judge's gavel struck suddenly, a clear sound that made her spine straighten. All her thoughts focused. Alex's lawyer spoke first. He stood up, clutching a stack of documents, his voice booming. Your Honor, my client, Mr. Alex Vanderberg, has conclusive evidence that the defendant, Ms. Isabella Rossi, transferred marital assets through a shell company under her name, with an involved amount of 2.8 million euros. This is the bank statement, with the defendant's signature and transfer records. He shook the papers, the rustling sound like a display of his evidence. Lucas raised his hand suddenly, his movement gentle but firm. Your Honor, I object. The ink analysis report on page 3 of this document shows that the so-called shell company seal was only affixed last week. In other words, this evidence is forged, created deliberately by the defendant Alex Vanderberg to frame the plaintiff. The courtroom erupted. The sound of reporters' shutters clicked like a storm. Isabella watched the back of Alex's neck turn red, slowly darkening to crimson. It was how he looked when he was angry. Back when they'd argued, he'd always turned this shade. He suddenly turned to glare at her, his eyes filled with rage and menace. But Isabella wasn't afraid. She mouthed the words mermaid silently, the silly name they'd given the yacht. At the time, he'd smiled and said, "It's a symbol of our love." Now, it was a weapon to destroy him. Objection! Alex's lawyer slammed his fist on the table, urgency in his voice. Counsel for the defense is making unfounded accusations against my client's reputation. This is illegal. Counsel for the defendant, please remain calm, the judge said, pushing up his reading glasses, his tone stern. Mr. Morell, please continue your argument and present your evidence. Lucas walked toward the witness stand, his steps slightly uneven. Isabella noticed his left shoe was coming unglued. A crack between the sole and the upper made him limp. He held up the testimony Jean Dupont and his wife had provided, his voice clear. Your Honor, according to testimony from Mr. Jean Dupont, production designer for Her Era, and his wife Marie, the actual Her Era production team never received the so-called Euro 2.8 million transfer. The real destination of these funds was, Your Honor. A shrill voice cut through Lucas's words from the press gallery. Chloe Duran stood up, holding a USB drive. Her peacock brooch glinted under the stage lights. I have new evidence. This proves Ms. Rossi did embezzle public funds. Isabella tightened her grip on the little star in her pocket. The fabric's texture calmed her. Lucas gave her an almost imperceptible shake of the head, a silent reassurance. He'd anticipated Chloe's move, and they were ready. Chloe waved the USB drive, a triumphant smile on her face. This is a recording of Ms. Rossi admitting to embezzlement. I just got it yesterday. It's absolutely authentic. Her lips twitched, as if she couldn't wait to see Isabella convicted. The judge signaled to the bailiff, who took the USB drive and inserted it into the computer. The recording played. Isabella's voice was heavily distorted, broken. That money was transferred. I used it. The background was filled with the sound of waves, as if it had been recorded by the sea. This is forged, Lucas said calmly, no trace of panic in his tone. Your Honor, this recording is an excerpt from my client Isabella Rossi's improvisation during the filming of The Seagull last year. The scene depicted the female lead admitting to transferring her father's inheritance. The sound of waves was recorded specially by the crew to recreate the script setting. I have testimony from the Seagull sound engineer and the original recording files to prove this. Alex suddenly loosened his tie, jumping to his feet. His voice was out of control with anger. Enough. This woman is crazy. She's lying. You can't believe her. Mr. Alex Vanderberg, please watch your behavior and maintain order in the courtroom. The judge frowned, his tone sterner. Counsel for the defense, Mr. Morell, do you have any other evidence to present? Lucas pulled a sealed bag from the inner pocket of his briefcase. Inside the clear plastic was a stack of yellowed papers. Your Honor, these are the original documents, just retrieved this morning from the safe on the Mermaid yacht. Meeting minutes and fund usage record from her Era crew. He unfolded the papers. Though the handwriting was slightly faded, the 2.8 million euro payment record was still clear. The payee line read, Jean Dupont on behalf of her Era production team. With Jean Dupont's signature below, Isabella stood up slowly. Her high heels clicked sharply on the marble floor as she walked toward the judge's bench. She pulled an old recorder from her purse, its black body slightly worn. Your Honor, I'd like to add one more piece of evidence. This recording was made outside Alex's villa last week. It captures a conversation between him and his lawyer. The moment she pressed play, Alex's shouts filled the courtroom, sharp and harsh. I want her to rot in jail. That stupid film project should have been shut down ages ago. How dare she talk to me about women's independence? I want everyone to know, she's just a money-hungry bitch. Without me, she's nothing. The recording also captured the sound of breaking glass, and his instructions to his lawyer. Make the documents look real. Don't let anyone spot the flaw. Make sure she loses. The press gallery exploded. Camera shudders, gasps, and murmurs mixed together, turning the courtroom into chaos. Chloe's face turned pale. She was secretly deleting photos from her phone when a bailiff caught her. Recovering forged her Era production contract from her bag, with her signature on them. Isabella looked at Alex's ashen face, suddenly remembering the first love letter he'd written her. Also about control. My darling, you should stay this beautiful forever. Stay by my side forever. Never think of leaving. At the time, she'd found it sweet. Now she knew. It had been the start of a cage. When the verdict was read, Lucas's hand shook under the table. He held a pen, but couldn't bring himself to write. Isabella's mind wandered. She stared at a sycamore leaf drifting past the window, swirling in the air before landing on the windowsill. When the judge announced, Isabella Rossi is acquitted of all charges. Alex Vanderberg is suspected of fabricating evidence and framing, and will be transferred to the prosecutor's office for further investigation. She only let out a soft sigh, as if lifting a weight of 1,000 pounds from her shoulders. We won. Isabella, we won. Madeline hugged her in the hallway, her voice choked with tears. Her perfume mixed with the salt of her tears, making Isabella's eyes burn that Alex's lawyer suddenly blocked their path, his face grim. Mr. Vanderberg is willing to settle. He'll compensate you for damages to your reputation and unfreeze your accounts, on the condition that you drop all charges against him and don't reveal anything to the media. Isabella pulled a folded paper from her bag, the deed to a villa on the French Riviera, the only asset she'd gotten in the divorce, and Alex's grandfather's most prized possession. He'd been trying to get it back ever since. She pulled a lighter from her pocket. Flames licked the parchment, and the deed quickly burned to ash, black flakes drifting to the floor. The lawyer screamed, drawing the attention of security guards, but he didn't dare step forward, only watching as the deed turned to dust. Tell Alex, Isabella said, watching the ash settle on the lawyer's polished shoes. Her voice was calm. This is what emotional damages look like. He destroyed my reputation. I destroyed the thing he cares about most. We're even. Lucas caught up with her at the back entrance of the courthouse. Isabella was leaning over a drain, retching, her face pale. He handed her a bottle of mineral water, still bearing the convenience store label. Ink stains covered his fingers, like an unfinished sentence. Was it worth it? He looked at her fingertips, reddened by the flame. That villa was worth 8 million euros. Enough to buy several apartments. Enough to fund multiple films. Isabella wiped her mouth with the star charm Sophia had given her. The fabric's softness comforted her. I didn't burn a villa. I burned the cage he locked me in. From today on, I'm no longer Mrs. Vanderberg or the framed actress. I'm just Isabella Rossi, an actress, a woman who wants to live for herself. In the distance, Chloe was being led to a police car. Her peacock brooch had fallen on the steps, glinting, though no one cared anymore. Madeline came running, holding her phone out. Excitement filled her voice. Director Jacques called. The contract for Broken Mask is ready, waiting for you to sign. He even said he wants to add an Easter egg about your story to the film, so more people know the truth. Wait. Lucas suddenly pointed to Isabella's bag. What's that? It's been moving since earlier. Isabella opened her bag and pulled out an envelope, its edges worn, the postmark from that morning. The return address was the Marseille Women's Shelter. She tore it open, and a child's drawing fluttered out. On it, a woman wearing a crown stood in a courtroom, surrounded by people holding signs that said go. On the back was Sophia's handwriting, neat, strong. The girls asked, can we name the foundation Star Foundation? Like the Lucky Charm you gave us. Something that gives hope. Isabella pressed the drawing to her chest. Tears finally spilled over, dripping onto the paper and blurring the colored paint. A sycamore leaf landed on her shoulder, light, like an unspoken thank you. She carefully folded the drawing and tucked it into the inside pocket of her wallet. Her fingertips brushed a gold embossed card, the invitation to the 76th Cannes Film Festival, addressed to Ms. Isabella Rossi. Star Foundation, she whispered the name, smiling through her tears. It's better than I could have imagined. That's what we'll call it. Something that shines a light for more women. Madeline held her phone screen up to Isabella's face. It showed the latest prediction from Variety. Broken Mask generating buzz before release. Isabella Rossi has a 67% chance of winning, far ahead of other nominees. The agent's perfume mixed with the smell of coffee, but it felt reassuring. What about the other 33%? Isabella teased, her fingers unconsciously touching the scar on her collarbone from a prop accident during the final scene of Broken Mask. It had scabbed over now. Is that for that Swedish actress playing the drug-addicted mother? I saw her audition tape. She's really good. For that Swedish girl. Lucas chimed in, squatting to organize his documents. His suit pants strained over his knees. But her PR team was photographed dining with the judges last night. Probably trying to cheat their way in. But it doesn't matter. Your performance is better. The audience's eyes are sharp. Reporters still lingered on the courthouse steps. They held up cameras, smiling at Isabella. No trace of the hostility from that morning. In the crowd, Isabella spotted a girl with glasses, holding a sign that read, Married Actresses Union. She was jostled in the crowd, her glasses slipping down her nose. Let's go over, Isabella said, already walking toward the girl. Madeline gasped, worry in her voice. Now? You just won the case. You need a rest. And Chloe's cronies are still around. What if they try to hurt you? They won't, Isabella said, reaching the girl. She bent down and adjusted her glasses. You got the name wrong. She pointed to the words Married Actresses Union, her smile gentle. It should be Married Actresses Alliance, like the Directors Guild or the Writers Guild. We're not weaklings who need support. We're allies fighting side by side. The girl's ballpoint pen slipped from her hand, its plastic case cracking. Lucas bent to pick it up. As he handed it back, he noticed a Blue Room souvenir pin on her canvas bag, its image of the black cashmere sweater already faded. Will you really start the foundation? The girl's voice trembled, hope in her eyes. My professor says married actresses can never get good roles. She says, once a woman marries, she should focus on her family, not try to be a lead actress. But I don't believe her. I want to act. I want to play good roles. Isabella brushed a strand of hair from the girl's face. Her fingers touched the soft hair. Tell your professor that next month, the Star Foundation will revise the industry contract template. We'll add a clause. No reduction in screen time or casting refusal based on marital status or pregnancy. She pulled a stack of papers from Lucas's briefcase, the Foundation's draft charter. Like this one. From now on, no crew can replace an actress just because she's married or pregnant. We need to let all women know. Marriage and career aren't a choice between one or the other. The reporters suddenly stirred, raising their cameras to take photos of Isabella and the girl. A black Mercedes pulled up in the distance. Alex's bodyguards were pushing through the crowd, trying to reach Isabella, but the reporters blocked them. They were more interested in the Star Foundation, in Isabella's new film. No one wanted a crowd around Alex anymore. Don't be afraid, Lucas whispered to Isabella, standing beside her to block Alex's view. He's here to pay the fines. The judge ordered him to compensate you for reputation damages and cover all legal fees. He's too busy saving himself to bother you now. The girl with glasses suddenly grabbed Isabella's wrist. Her palm was sweaty from nervousness. My sister. She was fired from her crew last year after she got pregnant. The director said, you're pregnant. You can't film action scenes. Go home and have your baby. Now, she can only stay home with the kid. She hasn't gotten a single script since. Isabella felt the calluses on the girl's palm, from holding a clapperboard for hours on end. She'd had the same calluses when she'd worked as a production assistant years ago. She remembered how she'd clung to Jean DuPont's pipe that day her era was canceled, refusing to believe the project was dead. Bring her to the Broken Mass premiere, Isabella said, pulling a business card from her wallet. On the back was the Marseille Women's Shelter address, handwritten by Sophia. Tell her the Star Foundation needs a production assistant. We welcome all women with dreams, whether they're married, have kids, or not. In the car on the way back, Madeline typed furiously on her keyboard. The screen showed the schedule for the Foundation's launch event. The launch is next Wednesday. Isn't that too soon? We need time to invite media, decorate the venue, contact guests. Next Wednesday it is, Isabella said, staring at the movie posters flashing by outside the window, an action film Alex had invested in. On it, the female lead wore revealing clothes, her eyes empty. The Broken Mass premiere is next week. We'll hold the launch the week before. Let everyone know we're not just talking, we're doing. Lucas suddenly turned around from the front seat. His tie clip was loose, ready to fall off. Just got word. The European Producers Association is boycotting the Star Foundation. They say the foundation is interfering with industry rules and disrupting market balance. Who's leading it? Madeline's fingers froze over the send button, anger in her eyes. It must be those old fossils who only cast young models. They're afraid the foundation will ruin their casting freedom. Afraid they can't bully actresses anymore. Guess, Lucas sneered disdain in his tone. The same producer who forced 20 models into the Broken Mask auditions. He's afraid the foundation will hurt his business, afraid no one will want to play his brainless bimbo roles anymore. Isabella remembered director Jacques' complaint during the audition. They keep pushing for a sexy girlfriend role for the male lead, saying no romance means no audience. I've argued with him a dozen times. Broken Mask is about a domestic violence survivor's rebirth. It doesn't need a useless role like that. At the time, she'd suggested rewriting the role as the survivor's lawyer. The investors had immediately cut 30% of the funding. Now she realized that producer had been in cahoots with Alex all along. Her phone vibrated suddenly. Isabella opened it to a photo from Sophia. Women at the Marseille shelter sitting around a table, sewing star brooches for the premiere. Piles of colored fabric covered the table, like a rainbow. A blonde woman wore a t-shirt that read, I'm not someone's wife. I'm an actress, holding a needle and thread, smiling brightly. Stop the car, Isabella said, her voice firm. The driver slammed on the brakes, stopping in front of Café du Soleil in the Latin Quarter. Jean Dupont's pipe glinted in the window. Like a welcome, Marie greeted them at the door, flour on her apron, holding a freshly baked loaf of bread. I knew you'd come. Jean said you'd want to see her era storyboards. She disappeared into the back room, returning with a yellowed notebook. A hand-drawn sun decorated the cover. Isabella opened the notebook. On the last page, stained with coffee, was the character biography she'd written 3 years ago. Marta isn't a victim. She just forgot how to be the lead in her own life. She'll find her strength again. She'll tell all women, you don't need to rely on anyone to shine. And now, Marie suddenly asked, curiosity in her voice. Do you still believe that? After everything you've been through, do you still believe women can shine for themselves? Lucas was reviewing the European Producers Association's boycott list, his brows furrowed. Madeline was arguing with a PR firm, her voice urgent. Isabella touched the bite marks on the edge of the storyboard, from when Alex had thrown a glass in a rage, the shards scraping the paper. At the time, he'd said, no one wants to watch a woman's story. Stop wasting time. More than ever, she said softly, carefully tucking the storyboard into her bag. You two must come to the Broken Mask premiere. Sit with Sophia's group. Together, we'll finish what Marta started, tell the world what she never got to say. That evening, her apartment still bore the marks of a seizure. Yellow tape had left sticky residue on the walls. Isabella walked barefoot across the dusty floor, stopping in front of the dressing mirror. The designer gowns she'd hung here 3 years ago were all donated to the Marseille Women's Shelter. Now the closet held only the Zara dress she'd worn to the audition and a few simple t-shirts and jeans. Are you really going to wear that on the red carpet? Madeline shrieked over the video call, her voice nearly breaking the speaker. Chanel's PR just texted me. They'll lend you their latest couture. Even jewelry. Pick anything you want, it's free. Tell Chanel's PR thank you for the offer, Isabella said, applying lipstick in the mirror, still the rebirth shade Sophia had given her. But I have a condition. If they want to partner with the Star Foundation, they need to add an anti-discrimination clause to the contract. Promise no age discrimination, no marital status discrimination, no obsession with pale, young, and thin for their ambassadors or designs. I want all women to know, beauty isn't just one thing. The doorbell rang suddenly. Isabella opened it to find Lucas standing outside, a cardboard box in his arms. His shirt was soaked with sweat, his hair damp. Found something good. Emails between Alex and the European Producers Association. They've been plotting to boycott the Star Foundation together, even planning to run you out of the film industry for good. Isabella pulled out the top email. When she read the line, married actresses are box office poison. Don't give them a chance, she suddenly laughed. Perfect. Add these emails to the Foundation's press conference materials. Let everyone see how these so-called industry leaders are terrified of women standing up. And this, Lucas said, pulling a videotape from the bottom of the box, its case worn. Test footage from her era. Jean Dupont secretly kept a copy. It has your audition tape. He said it'll help prove you really cared about telling this story. Isabella slipped the tape into the player. After a burst of static, the screen showed her from 3 years ago, wearing a simple white t-shirt, hair tied in a ponytail, her eyes bright. She was reciting a line that had been cut from the final script. When they say you're not good enough, they're just afraid you're too strong. When they say you can't, they're just afraid you're better than them. A woman's strength was never meant to please others. It was meant to light her own way. Madeline's call suddenly cut into the video call, urgency in her voice. Bad news. The Berlin Film Festival just announced they're dropping Katarina's film A Mother's Choice. Their reason, family-themed films aren't commercial enough, no market. Katarina's practically in tears. She spent 2 years making this film, even borrowed money for it. Isabella pressed pause. The screen froze on her holding an imaginary trophy, smiling. I'm accepting this trophy for all women who dare to chase their dreams, she'd said then. Contact director Jacques, she said, her voice firm. Change the European premiere of Broken Mask from Cannes to Berlin. Schedule it for a Mother's Choice's original slot. We're going to help Katarina show her film to the world. Are you serious? Lucas's eyes widened, disbelief in his voice. The Cannes Film Festival is one of the big 3. If you switch to Berlin, you'll offend the Cannes judges. It'll be hard to get nominated again. That's exactly why we need to do it, Isabella said, tearing off the last piece of tape from the sofa. The sound of the adhesive peeling was loud in the quiet apartment. The Star Foundation's first project will be funding Katarina's A Mother's Choice. We'll even help her find a distributor. I want everyone to know, we're not just fighting for ourselves. We're fighting for every female director, every female actress like Katarina. Late that night, Isabella sat alone on the sofa, watching audition tapes Katarina had sent. On the screen, a Polish girl spoke English with an accent, tears in her eyes, My husband says no one wants to watch a story about a 30-year-old mother. He says I should stay home with the kids, not waste time acting. But I can't give up. I want to play this role well. I want my daughter to know mothers can have dreams too. Isabella pressed pause and sent a message to Sophia. Transfer the Star Foundation's first grant to Katerina's A Mother's Choice crew. Put in the memo, a love letter to all mothers. May you be both a mom and yourself. Outside the window, Paris's lights twinkled like scattered stars, lighting up the night sky. Isabella touched the child's drawing in her wallet. There was a new line on the back. My sister says she wants to apply for the production assistant job at the Star Foundation. The girl with glasses. The handwriting was childish, but full of hope. The night before the awards ceremony, rain lashed the hotel windows, making a loud, pattering sound. Isabella sat by the window, ironing the czar dress. The wrinkles at the neckline were hard to smooth out, but she was patient, stroking them flat one by one. A breaking news alert suddenly popped up on the TV. Football tycoon Alex Vanderberg is under joint investigation by FIFA and the Monaco Public Prosecutor's Office for suspected match fixing and asset transfer. All his assets have been frozen. Isabella turned off the TV and kept ironing. She didn't care about Alex's fate anymore. He'd chosen his own ending. Lucas knocked on her door, his tie still undone, holding a gold-embossed envelope. Good news just in. A joint letter from the European Actors Guild. Over 100 actresses signed in support of the Star Foundation. Even your idol, Juliette Binoche. Isabella took the envelope. Her fingertips brushed the gold lettering, warmth spreading through her chest. Her iron paused at the dress's neckline, still bearing a faint stain from the audition makeup. She deliberately left it unwashed, a reminder of her persistence and courage. Should I help you write an acceptance speech for tomorrow? Lucas asked, hope in his voice. His eyes sparkled. Isabella shook her head, pulling a small box from her nightstand. Inside was the star brooch Sophia had given her. I already wrote it. She opened her Era storyboard notebook. On the blank last page were a few lines. Thank you to everyone who believed in me, to everyone who never gave up. Women don't need to be perfect. We just need to be real. We don't need others' approval. We just need our own courage. This award belongs to every woman who dared to say I can. The moment the red carpet lights flashed, Isabella took a deep breath and stepped forward. She wore the faded Zara dress, the star brooch on her chest. Instead of an expensive clutch, she held her Era storyboard notebook. In the media area, she spotted the girl with glasses, holding a Star Foundation sign, smiling brightly. Isabella stopped and walked over. She signed the Star Foundation contract template the girl held. On the last page, dozens of actresses had already signed. Juliette Binoche's name was at the top, written in large letters. Reporters snapped photos of the contract, emblazoned with the anti-marital discrimination clause. No one cared anymore if she was wearing couture. When the presenter announced Best Actress, Isabella Rossi, she stumbled, genuinely, not acting. Her high heel had twisted. She smiled and stood up, walking to the stage. As she took the trophy, she thought of the rough hands of the women at the shelter, of Sophia's sewn star, of the girl with glasses hope. This award belongs to every woman who's ever been told you can't, Isabella said, holding up the star brooch for the cameras. The lens panned to Katerina, wiping tears in the audience, and to Jean Dupont and his wife. Special thanks to the mothers who memorized lines while breastfeeding, to the actresses told, you're too old to act, to the female directors who can't find funding for women's stories. You are not alone. We will stand together and tell the world our stories. At the after-party, the president of the European Producers Association approached her with a champagne glass, an awkward smile on his face. Ms. Rossi, I'm sorry about what happened earlier. Isabella poured the champagne into a waiter's tray in front of him, her voice calm. If you want to partner with the Star Foundation someday, first learn the anti-discrimination clause by heart. We only drink wine brewed with equality, and only work with those who respect women. In the car back to the hotel, Lucas suddenly asked, Isabella, why are you so insistent on adding the anti-discrimination clause to the Foundation's charter? The streetlights outside flickered through the car window, casting soft shadows on his face. Isabella turned to look at the night view of Paris, storefronts with glowing signs, couples walking hand in hand, and a street musician playing a violin under a street lamp. Her fingers gently rested on her lower abdomen, as if reassuring the life inside. When I first started acting, I met a senior actress who was 42. She was supposed to get the lead role in a film about a female artist, but the producer replaced her at the last minute, said a middle-aged woman can't carry the box office. She cried to me that night, saying she'd spent 3 months researching the role, even learned to paint. But no one cared. Later, I heard she gave up acting and opened a flower shop. She paused, her voice softening. Then there was my makeup artist, Lila. She got pregnant last year and was fired by the crew. The director said pregnant women are too much trouble. We can't afford to delay the shoot. She had to use her savings to pay for prenatal care. These things, they're not just bad luck. They're systematic unfairness. They tell women, your age is a flaw, your pregnancy is a burden, your marriage makes you less valuable. Lucas nodded, his gaze serious. So the clause isn't just for you. It's for all the women who've been pushed out of the industry for being too old, too pregnant, or too married. Exactly, Isabella said, a faint smile on her lips. When I found out I was pregnant, the first thought I had wasn't joy. It was fear. I thought, will the crew replace me? Will the audience stop watching my films? That fear shouldn't exist. No woman should have to choose between her career and her family, between her dreams and her body. She pulled out the child's drawing from her wallet, the one with the woman in a crown, and traced the lines with her fingertip. The girl with glasses wants to act. Lila wants to go back to work. The senior actress wants to pick up her script again. This clause is for them. It's a promise that one day, a woman won't have to hide her pregnancy to get a role, won't have to lie about her marriage to keep a job, won't have to watch a younger actress take her part just because she's over 40. The car pulled up in front of the hotel. Isabella opened the door, and the cool night air brushed her face. She looked up at the hotel's illuminated sign, then back at Lucas. Anti-discrimination isn't about giving women special treatment. It's about giving us the same chance to act, same chance to work, same chance to be seen. That's all we want. Lucas stood up, holding the door open for her. You know, when I took your case, I thought it was just about proving your innocence. But now it's bigger than that. You're not just fighting for yourself. You're changing the industry. Isabella smiled, tucking the drawing back into her wallet. I'm not doing it alone. Sophia, Jean, you, Madeline, even the little girl with glasses. We're all in this together. And one day, when my daughter grows up, if she wants to be an actress, I can tell her, you don't have to choose. You can be a mother, a wife, and an actress all at once. Because someone fought for that right for you. She walked into the hotel lobby, the star brooch on her dress glinting under the chandeliers. Behind her, Lucas followed, carrying the box of evidence. Now not just proof of her innocence, but a reminder of the change they were building, one clause, one story, one brave woman at a time.